Excited to see what she puts up today. And these ladies now will have a main with the red pants. That's Katie Canning at 170, Aaliyah Miller on your screen now at 165.
I get a nice shot of both of them there. Miller, good.
And here she goes, that again, lane number 1. Nina Vrogovich, 185, in your center lane in the white t-shirt. That is Andra Moistus. And welcome back, everybody, for Tier Wodapalooza. We are still on Event 1, Double or Nothing. This is the second.
Pressure's on a little bit here. Those are heavier opening lifts and lifting event that are a little different than previous competitions. You are not limited to one attempt within the window. You can actually change your weights within the what to lift.
And we will have our eyes on lanes 1, 3, and 5. They will go first, and all the way to the right of your screen, 155 there. No good. She'll have a second attempt. Oh, and again, Becca. Oh, now we're looking at lane 2, Ashley Shoemaker in the yellow top, 155, and it's good. And then we'll go back to, and here now we'll go back for the second attempt for lanes 1, 3, and 5. All the way to the right of your screen, again, Becca Merritt going for a second attempt at that weight, 160 on the barbell for Ashley Shoemaker, and 180 in the red pants for Nikki Torrigiani. And it's good, 180 for Torrigiani. Some overhead squats for that tie break.
Yeah, and could end up being critical. We had 3 women in there in lane number 5 is known for her weightlifting. She does have a 190-pound snatch in competition listed as her career best. We already saw some other athletes who
23 years old, out of Australia.
Here the athletes have a chance to load up their barbells, and as we mentioned during the LATAM Cup, as every and Branislav Lankovic that have these huge maxes, if you don't need to do more to get the win or the place that you want, then why do it?
Julia Hannaford, hot pink top, 85. That is the weight to beat right now.
Yeah, and she's absolutely an up-and-comer in Australia. She was 5th place at the Down Under Championship. She had a good amongst them.
And that's Freya Moosberger in the white top with the red shoes in the middle of your screen. And it's good. And Hannaford, Chiara Napoli has 160 on the bar in the middle of your screen. 135, it is good. Some overhead squats as well in the all the way.
An element of this particular event.
All of these women will have one left. 195 here on the barbell for Julia Hannaford in your hand. That will be the heaviest lift.
If she hits it, but the placard on the left is obstructed for Jessica Andrazik, but she has 190 on the bar, which would also be better than her CrossFit Mayhem teammate of Nina Vrogovich.
And all 3 women in this heat are good for their lifts. 190 for 170 for Freya Moosberger. And still going for the overhead squats for Hannaford at 195.
And that's 5 overload in the middle. She took a while to get going here, and she ends up missing that first attempt there as well. Chance to attempt a second time, and Napoli, who having missed that hang snatch, is going to try it, but she's going to have to defer back to that.
3 of the elite women, 195. 195 is the score to beat. 88 key. Lane number 1, Jessica Andraski hitting 190.
Yeah, Andrasik, another one of those athletes coached by Dom out of CrossFit Mayhem. He said that Vrogovich and 185 and 190.
Not bad at all for this Heat 3 of ladies. Again, there's a replay of Hannaford making these overhead squats look too easy, Brian.
The heaviest competition snatch in the field, but we spoke to her and believe she has hit 207, at least 207 pounds in her snatch. That's no guarantee that.
Years old.
Yeah, Emily Rothwell, well known for her team competition with CrossFit Invictus teams. This is her debut.
We'll have 2 attempts to get a score on the board. 1 snatch followed by 1 hang snatch, and then that tie break fire in heat number 4, Brian.
Yeah, just telling her judge what she wants to hit there, and it looks like 185 is going to be the opener.
She will be part of the group that goes second for the lift. That is Stacy Lerum on your screen. I believe she's got 155 on the bar. Here in lane number 1, Emily Rethwill in the hot pink 160.
Wishart, similar to Hannaford, came in with a competition best of 190 pounds for a snatch. We saw what Hannaford did. We'll see what Wishart does, but it's Rose Scott.
She hits that 185, no problem, stands it up all the way to the right in the red, and then in the middle of your screen, 160 for Rebecca Fuselier.
1-2.
And then this will be the second and last attempt for the elite women, all the way to the right in the hot pink. Emily Rethwill, 175 on the bar. In the middle of your screen, 175 for a good for Rose Scott in the right of your screen in the red, but for Rebecca Fuselier, 170 is good, and she's going for those overhead squats.
Yeah, I love to see this from Fuselier on paper and isn't too sure where she's going to stack up against the field, but I see an athlete who's gotten
Rose
stronger.
Scott hits 190, now going for those overhead squats all the way in your right lane in the red. And it will...
Three heats remain here for the women in their opening event at Tier Wodapalooza. It's double or nothing. Thanks for being with us, everybody. I'm Sean Burgers Bjornsdottir, 17 years old at a CrossFit Reykjavik.
Yeah, third place at the Teenage CrossFit Games competition. She's super excited to be here, and she gets a heavy lift right out the gates.
To the front of the heat here will go first lanes 1, 3, and 5, and then lanes 2, 4, and 6. They have 40, has to be completed within that 45 seconds.
You do get multiple attempts if needed. You can change the weights if needed. We've even seen that attempted once or twice so far as well.
It's Abigail Doman, 185.
Doman, one of 6 rookies from the CrossFit Games in 2023 that have opted to take their invite to compete at Wodapalooza here.
Neely, Carolyn Stanley, and Grace Walton will be the next 3. 175 left side of your screen for Grace Walton is no good. 165 good for Stanley on the snatch, and now the hang snatch to make the complex count. And Lexi Neely far right working through 170.
Doman not getting a successful lift in that first window. She needs to make good on this here, and at 17 years old, 190 pounds for this snatch complex is mind-blowing.
Good. And now the overhead squats to the tiebreak. Doman is going to get 3, is working on her overhead squats now.
Emily DeRoy, center of screen in the orange there. But Bjorgensdottir is one of 3 women who've hit 190. The previous overhead
will be up next. 180 left side of your screen for Grace Walton. First part is good. Now for the hang snatch for her. And she will hit that 170, looking good for Lexi Neely, who's clean so far as well.
Yeah, Walton, another athlete coming from Oceania. She podiumed at the Down Under Championships in
Stanley still working through the overhead squats to open things up here at Tier Wodapalooza. The weather has not been cooperating. Doesn't matter. It's always or will be empty. And there is Fee Sagafi. Once again, 245.
Athletes have a successful opening lift in the first window. Abigail Doman, the first one in a while who hadn't, but put loads that they're confident with in the first round.
And a big number here as well.
She's done it before. She snatched 205 pounds at the CrossFit Games in 2021, and that year that was more than any woman.
Barbell we have in this first group. Middle of your screen is Matilda Garns as Vidison 5. This will probably be a bit of a damage control event for her. And now she's onto the overhead squats. Vidison left side of your screen still working on. Still amassing overhead squats in the tie-break portion of this complex. Except Kerstetter at 175, Wells at 160.
I mentioned all the rookies from the 2023 games in this field.
There's Rebecca Vidison getting set to make a run dual appearance here at Tier Wodapalooza. 175 is Matilda Garns in the middle, and then on the far right, Fisa Gott. Garns is going to fail and have to start again. Vidison on the hang snatch. That he takes no time getting through that. Sydney Wells, the other athlete, lifting at 170. Now Kerstetter trying to break a tie with Bjornsdottir from the prior.
She's done better than that. Rose Scott hit at 190 plus 3. I believe she's just past that. Jorgensen 190 plus 4.
Second place heading into the 7th and final heat in this event. Julia Hannaford still has the top lift at 195 pounds, and that'll do it. Missed it.
Yeah, we've been talking about on this hang snatch, especially that speed under the bar can be a big advantage. Kirst had a great receiving position there, and then it was just a matter of bet that there would be someone in the women's field to hit 200 pounds. It hasn't happened yet. One more opportunity.
Able to do it, and that's Danny Spiegel. She'll be in lane 6, and she will have the advantage of going second in this heat. 5th individual appearance here at Wodapalooza, and she's done very well every time she's competed. She's never finished lower than loading their bars. That is Emily Rolfe in lane 1, looking like I believe it's going to be 190 for Spiegel to open. The right side of your screen at 170 for Carey. Rolfe's going to miss her first attempt. Danielle Brandon is under 175. Carey is good. Brandon completes the complex. Rolfe.
Injury that's kept her out of the 2022 season. She's been on the road back.
Spiegel is the fan pick on the Heat 1 app to win this event. 185 is good for her. Meanwhile, it looks like 5 on the bar for Danielle Brandon, middle of your screen, and 180 for Emma Carey. Left side, able to hang on to that. Danielle Brandon is good, and Emma Carey's onto her overhead squats at 1 highs. So Danny Spiegel looks like she has 195.
Now Hannaford had done 195 plus 5, so Spiegel would need 6 overhead squats if she wants to take this event win.
And no problem on the complex, and she's gonna drop it and not go for any overhead squats. Now she's 90.
And we had a pile up.
185 is missed for Lowen. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, pile up of athletes at 190, so Magawa is gonna be.
Is now at. She missed her opening lift. She got a no rep. So she took a calculated risk there. Instead of going for overhead squats at 195, she decided to jump up to 200, make another attempt. She misses. She will take second in the event.